Hi, I'm Emily Jacob, and welcome to EMS R&R, Tips for Rescue and Resilience. I'm sharing tips to help navigate these uncertain times and any type of times. Rescue is so that you can self-rescue when you feel anxious, overwhelmed, or flat out panicked. And resilience is so that you can build that inner core that means you need to self-rescue less often. So today's tip is a simple grounding technique. And I don't know if you have seen the meme, never sure, but if you have seen the one that says, when you're feeling panicked, if you remember 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you feel, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It's kind of like that, but nowhere near as complicated, because I don't know about you, but I was just trying to think, okay, which one would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and what are my 5 senses? And oh my God, if I'm panicked, I'm not going to remember to do all of that. And I might just get a little bit panicked about not remembering what my 5 senses were. So I actually get a little bit of a grump every time I see that on social media. But maybe you don't get a bit of a grump because maybe your algorithm doesn't show it to you. Anyway, essentially, this is a really, really simple grounding technique, and it is something that I tend to include with all of my Reconnected Life clients way before we do any breathing work. And that's actually because when you are feeling panicky, trying to focus on your breath can actually sometimes be the worst thing to do, because it might make you hyperventilate if you are too focused on it and you're in that panic state. So this grounding exercise is one to use when you are feeling really like you can't make sense of anything, just to bring yourself back into the present moment, and then maybe do some deep breathing once you've got a grip of yourself again. So the way it works is really simply to start to focus in on a particular place that, something you can see in front of you. So maybe it's something on the carpet at your feet, or it's something straight ahead of you. I have a wall ahead of me, so there's not much there, but maybe there's something that you can see that you just want to focus in on. I'm going to focus in actually on looking at the number 8 on my keyboard. This might be slightly gazed down. And once you have really focused in on the thing that you are looking at, you start to think about what you can feel, and you start to think about how you feel in your chair, and you start to notice, be really curious about, okay, so can I feel the warmth from where my bum's been sitting on the chair for some time now? Or is it feeling soft? Is it feeling hard? If I put my hand down, can I feel the material? What kind of material is it? Is there a texture to it? And you kind of start to expand your awareness around you. So you've gone from this small object that you're looking at through to thinking about, how does it feel when you're thinking, what you're feeling. Then you start to think and can open up your awareness to what you can hear. And you don't need to do any of this. You can just focus on the number 8 on your keyboard and be noticing, oh, okay, there's the asterisk above it. Oh, it's white. It's on the black background. Oh, it's a 9 next to it. So wherever your attention goes is really okay, because what you're trying to do is just bring yourself into the now and into noticing the reality of the environment you're in. So yes, you can open up to all of your senses. I had a little bit of vegan chocolate before I started this call, so I can still taste a kind of bitter chocolate taste in my mouth. And maybe you've just taken a drink of your tea or your coffee or something, and you can taste that in your mouth. Maybe it's still your toothbrush if you're on that side of the world. A toothpaste, not brush. But whatever it is, be curious and be noticing the things that you can see, you can hear, you can feel, you can taste, and if you can smell anything too. So that's what we're going to do together. I'm not going to guide you very much. I'm going to prompt a little bit just so that you kind of get used to how you might want to be focusing your attention in this exercise. But I'm mostly going to stay silent and let you have the experience for yourself. And then after a little while, we shall stop and we shall see how you feel from having done this. So I'd like you to kind of think about, just now before we start, kind of check in with yourself and think, okay, how am I doing? Am I feeling slightly ruffled in any way? Or am I feeling really smooth and calm right now? And just kind of give yourself a sense, if you know, one is so chilled out, you're almost horizontal, and 10 is really hypervigilant. Give yourself a score and decide where you are on that. And yeah, no right or wrong answer, but just kind of decide where you are now, and then we'll check in to see where you might be at the end of the exercise. So I'm going to start now and just ask you to pick something that you want to be looking at and giving your full undivided attention on that spot for the moment. Just notice what you can about its features. It might be it reminds you of something. Allow that picture to come into your head if that's the case. And come back to the actual thing that you're looking at now. And now start to notice how your body feels as it's sitting or lying down or standing, how your feet feel on the ground, how your bum feels in the chair. Notice, is your back up straight or slightly curved? Do you feel warmth? And is there anything you can hear in this nowness that you're inhabiting? Maybe it's the fan on your computer, some birdsong outside, kids downstairs. Whatever it is, be curious and notice. Come back to what you're looking at. That's your North Star. Open up to feel the temperature. Are there any smells in the area you're in? Anything you can taste? And just notice all those things that you've just been noticing and feeling, hearing. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. And come back to yourself. And just noticing for yourself now whether or not you think that your 2 out of 10 has moved to a 4 out of 10, or the 6 out of 10 has moved to an 8 out of 10, or maybe you're still stuck at 5, and that's okay too. So this is something that can be practiced and practiced. I usually ask my clients to be noticing and coming into themselves like this when they first wake up and when they go to bed, and then as many times as they can remember to during the day. It's actually a practice that can really build resilience and mean that as soon as you start to feel unsteady, you can come back into yourself really, really quickly by doing this exercise. It's certainly something that in the past, when I was in a corporate office environment, I found really helpful when there were times when I felt like I was being triggered and about to flip out, that I would start to focus on a spot and start to notice how I felt in my chair, and then that trigger would pass. So thank you for watching. Please share this with others and watch out for the next tip. I shall see you next time.